Hello, everyone, and welcome to Social Circle. My name is Arnav,
And my name is Abhijit.
and today we are touching a very important topic, and that's housing market in Australia for international students. So there are different types of housing. What do you think about it, Abhijit?
So, different type of housing. If we actually, the first thing that comes in my mind is maybe shared household.
Hmm.
So, shared household is basically one big apartment with multiple rooms.
Hmm.
There are multiple scenarios. For example, you're living with your friends. That is the dream scenario. You're enjoying and everything. The second scenario would be you are sharing that particular house with multiple people from different countries, maybe Philippines, maybe Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. That's the global exposure for which you are here, right?
Yeah.
And so the second type of housing is something called student accommodation. One thing I would like to actually tell you about is basically these are accommodations which you share with students itself, people who are going to universities with you. They are the ones who will be studying with you, and it has different kind of things. There are luxurious student accommodation, there are basic student accommodation, but at the end of the day, I think that is something we will touch upon later, right?
Yeah.
And the third one is if you respect your privacy, the thing is you are able to get the in-suite apartment which has attached washroom, bathroom, laundry room, kitchen, and the whole shebang. But the thing is, it is a bit expensive, right?
I agree with him. The thing is that there are a lot of stuff which I was unaware when I came here,
Okay.
and students have to go through a lot of changes. They are not aware about Australian culture, the food here, the music, the sports. One thing was Australian Homestay Network, AHN.
Oh, what is that?
I was not aware about it either, but you can live with an Australian family. Like few of my friends, they live with Australian families. They can celebrate festivals with them, enjoy food together.
Oh, that sounds so wonderful.
Yeah, it is a pretty interesting experience, and I got a variety of what to say friends who are
Wow.
trying that thing out, and it's a new upcoming thing. So I hope this would be a nice starting point for students to look into as well. What
Oh,
the
definitely, definitely.
Yes.
Such a good experience you must have had.
Yeah, but the biggest question I got was actually what's the cheapest rental housing if you want to get here? What do you think about that?
So on top of my mind, the first thing I would like to share is let's give you a brief idea. The cheapest is actually shared accommodation.
Hmm.
So let's break it down. Okay. The first thing is if we look towards suburbs. Suburbs are where there are universities like Monash, Lekin. That is suburb. The household market at the shared household market ranges somewhere between $200 to $400.
Hmm.
That is acceptable.
Hmm.
If we go into the city, it becomes a bit expensive. It's somewhere around 400 to 600. So if you're going to universities like University of Melbourne, Swinburne, RMIT, that is something you have to deal with it.
Hmm.
Now, with this point, I would like to share you just one story.
Hmm.
So it turns out when I and my friends actually came here to Melbourne, so we were looking towards all kinds of properties like in-suite, shared household, and everything. So we finally landed on our feet. We had everything. I personally paid $200. One of my friends paid $250, and
Yeah.
we were bragging that it's good house and everything. Out of nowhere, one of my friends comes and he's like, "Come on, bro, I'm paying $140."
Oh wow,
You get that, right?
that is very cheap.
I was so jealous. I was like, how did you manage that? Turns out he had booked a whole four-bedroom apartment. He had three of his friends. They were sharing the rent and utilities and 140 split.
Wow, nice.
But that's actually scenario about shared household. You remember talking about like why student accommodation is so good?
Hmm.
I'm not the person to actually tell you that. I mean, this guy smiling here, he is the guy. So, Arnav,
Yeah.
please paint a picture for them.
All right. So yes, he had more experience with shared housing. I had more with student accommodation. Both of them have their pros and cons.
Yeah.
So if you are in a suburb, like he mentioned, the universities, it's Student Housing Association, which is SHA, and you can get a good accommodation for 200 to 400 Australian dollars a week.
Yeah.
It's a good student accommodation, but the premium ones are at the heart of the city. You come in Melbourne CBD, you come to Scape, you go to Igloo, to Unilodge, And they are super premium and expensive.
Super premium, yeah.
They start with like 400 and there's no limit. It goes to the sky. One of my friends, she's paying roughly 750 or 800 a week.
Oh, but that might be like awesome place, like with theaters and everything, right?
I agree. And it's a good, like, they have services, they have a lot of facilities. But what do you think about the private owners and private properties?
Actually, I have a few friends who have the experience with this. So it turns out about private owners. So in Australia, there are lot of local families, a lot of different households who maybe something like different property agencies, like maybe AUV or maybe Zara's. These are the property agencies. So in a scenario, in one household, there might be one or two rooms that might be vacant, maybe through these local families or through this property agencies. So they lease out that particular room to particular individual.
Oh, wow.
So if it is through property agencies, it is called lease transfer. But if it is with a family, it is called private contract.
Okay.
And generally, you are able to find these things on social media platforms like Facebook, WhatsApp, and different places. But the thing is, it also gets a bit tricky because the thing is, there is a lot of scams happening also in this.
Oh, I would, sorry for breaking, but I would love to touch a point on this aspect. One of my friend,
Okay.
she was looking for property. It was a week left for her rent.
What?
For her rental property to end, like her rent agreement to finish. And she was in a quick search for a property.
But still, 1 week for
That's what was it was. And she opened Facebook Marketplace, looked into a property, and in a rush, she was very interested into it. It looked really beautiful in the pictures.
okay, yeah.
And she contacted the person, and the person was like, I have a lot of interest.
Yeah.
Please give me the security bond so that I can like secure the property for you.
Yeah.
And I don't know the circumstances. She skipped the invigilation aspect of the
Oh
property.
yeah, condition report and those things, right?
No, no, no. It's the initial sighting of the property.
Oh,
Like,
inspection.
Inspection.
Ah, the most important
So
part,
she
actually.
skipped inspection of the property, and she was like, "All right, here's my bond." And
What?
that was a big error from her part, because as soon as that happened, the advertisement was gone from the portal, and she lost a big, massive chunk of money. And I would be advising all the students to be aware about these issues. Probably it is very safe to go to portals like realestate.com
Oh yeah.
and domain.com. On domain, you can get an entire history of the property.
Oh yeah, that actually helps you to basically see,
Yeah.
like what was the ownership, when was it sold, and everything. I think a lot of different details, right?
Yeah, you get all the history and all the details of the property. It's better to also navigate through if the property was like leased for a long time, or if it is like how many apartments in one property are leased, or how many are bought privately.
Oh yeah.
But real estate is a good portal as well. You have a list of properties which are very safely under a realtor.
Oh yeah.
So you can invigilate those properties, and like you can go for inspections, and like you can be very vigilant with your decision making process. So I think that we gave a lot of information, right?
I think just one more thing. When he actually talked about realestate.com, that is one of the best places to get your rental history. If you
Yes.
go through there, then you are able to get your rental history on paper and everything much easier way. And just before we actually end the video, we would just like to say this video wasn't sponsored by Scape, Igloo, or any of the student accommodation. Neither
Yes.
was it sponsored by realestate.com or
Or domain.com.
domain.com.
Yeah, I agree. And I hope you got a lot of information from our video. Please like our video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your fellow friends. And we can make a bigger social circle that way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
See you in the next one.